Hey y'all, what is up? Look who's back. Who didn't make it last week?
Hey,
Cause she
y'all.
she had no internet, but she is here now.
Hey.
The woman, the myth, the legend, Miss Arwen Avalon.
Stop.
Yeah,
Give me the vapors, Drew. Quit.
the, gonna be, she ain't even drinking, and she's sitting there giggling, giggle.
It's my
Might
natural
get
state.
a couple snorts in before the end of the stream. Never
No.
know.
Smart night, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she's on coke.
Oh,
uh,
hey, be nice.
diet.
Yeah. Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Just just cut off a few lines. Diet Coke.
Oh my God.
No, I'm kidding.
Christ.
Hail to brightest day. We've got Zach here.
Yes, good.
He is gonna be my rival Saturday. Because don't forget, guys, we're gonna do the Battle of Pegasus actual. And I'm gonna bring my fleet in and I am gonna smash Mr. Zachary over there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, with my not PvP stuff.
Drew smash.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
do PvP in that game either.
Smart night, yeah.
Yeah. So oh, she's on. So I'm excited. We got Nikki Klein to laugh because I was like, when I tweeted out the show earlier, I was like, hey, maybe she'll find a viper in a barn because she actually tweeted a picture the other day where she found somebody sent her a picture of a viper in a barn that they found. So yeah, she was like, she was chuckling at that. We did effort to get her on. I'm still working at it, so hopefully next week we will have her here, and I'll see because if I can't get to her, I know Chase can. I'll just reach out to my boy Chase Geyser, and we'll see if we can't both put the squeeze on her and see if she'll come in. but yeah, hail to Gap Stargate, man. Thank you. We finally caught up on Twitter. Like he followed me back finally because I followed him like a while back, and he finally followed me. So we're good. Hail to Tony, blue-eyed roof Korean the based. Look who's back. Uh, Just another red shirt. Hey Zach, you got squawkage. He ain't even drinking, and she's sitting there giggling. Yeah, look at you got squawkage coming through your mixer, buddy.
Okay, my bad.
Let me make sure it's not. I'm pretty sure.
Unless you have YouTube tab open, it's not you, Arlen.
Okay, that's what I was. I mean, I have one open, but the
No,
sound's
it's
down.
me. It's me.
I wanted to double check.
Hail to just another red shirt. Hail to Lopter, the Demon State Demon King of Inferno. Hail to Mr. Parrothead. He's here. Low Spec. What up, dude? Good to see you, my friend. Eric K's in the house. One of the best mods on all of YouTube. Love Eric K. We'll be chilling over with Comics Division later. Eric is a proud member of the Dix Division, as are many other folks in here. So, Toxic Man Flu putting out those crazy memes earlier. Jeez, oh man. I'm never going to get away from the Beware the Drew thing. It's stuck with me forever. Hail to our boy Free Speech Gaming. What's up, buddy? Eric, thank you so much for the $5, man. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you. Both my mom and I really do appreciate that. And big shout outs. Wow, this past week has been pretty amazing. I didn't even really know that PJ, had back since Thanksgiving. He's had a GoFundMe that I guess he and our pal Maria, they put together. Maria from T and Telly, and so far between PJ starting that thing and reaching out to people, and then there was a fundraiser. Shout out to, of course, our some of our Star Wars Expanded Universe peeps, which is Alora and Stieg and Tim over at Open Airlock Policy and all of those wonderful people, Matt Wilkins and man, just Trees, Miss Martin Muses and all the wonderful people that were doing that fundraiser that night with Open Airlock. That was awesome. And I think that they raised a fairly nice amount. And I can't tell you that just how grateful that I am to the community for all the help that you give my mom and I. I don't, I could say all the time, I don't deserve friends like you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for just being beautiful souls. I mean, you're amazing. Because I'm a proud guy. I don't ask for things, and it just, thank you so much. So I appreciate it. You guys are really great. Of course, I'm sporting a new hat tonight. This is courtesy. Courtesy of Elijah Allen. She's got a great Etsy shop. Oh gosh, I always forget the name of it, but support her Etsy shop because she's really awesome. You can find her on Twitter at a troubled green. She's great, and she's a patriot. I love her. So mad
awesome.
props to her. And she did a good job on this slouchy. She really did. It's hand knitted, so it's going to keep me nice and warm. But more importantly, there's no mistaking the sentiment. I love it.
Really bring the heat on you.
So let's go, Brandon. All right. So so tonight's episode, what do we got, Zach? This is season
Sometimes
4. Episode 11. This is
Sometimes a great notion.
Yes, exactly, that one. Yeah, I totally blanked on the title, man. I'm doing bad with titles tonight. I'm like, boomer.
You're forcing me to try to remember, and I don't remember crap. So.
Well, I know. I'm gonna sit up here. I'm gonna sit up here like Biden, like all right. So what do we got for a script, Zach, if you want to lead in?
We've got 2.5 pages ish, and this is some of the heaviest stuff of the 4th season and probably of the whole show, honestly. Like there's a couple of scenes that are definitely going to either pull your heartstrings or draw the hope out of you. And that's kind of the theme of this whole episode, is everyone is just losing their hope or lost it entirely. So
thanks, Parrot Head.
God.
So as Drew said, this is season 4, episode 11, Sometimes a Great Notion. The episode opens on the desolate remains of the planet assumed to be Earth. All the gathered members of the fleet stare in disbelief as the world around them is revealed to be destroyed and irradiated all over by an ancient nuclear conflagration. Rosalind examines the only visible plant life, a small, prickly flower, and laments that they have traded one nuked civilization for another. Starbuck searches for the locator beacon. Most others go about their work, but Duwala seems particularly distraught as she finds trinkets of the civilization that was, a pocket watch, and a set of child's jacks. As they board the Raptor to return to the fleet, we can see the hope leave her eyes as she struggles to hold together her sanity. Back on Galactica, the waiting faces of deckhands, pilots, and junior officers look on as Rosalind and the others disembark from the Raptor, sullen. Unable to breathe the words, Rosalind simply shakes her head before being escorted out under the chaos of the crew's confusion, which Lee tries to placate. Still on the planet's surface, Kara and Leoben stop when they come upon a wreckage site with pieces of colonial equipment and a piece of hull with a partial identifier on its charred skin, 757NC. Kara suppresses panic long enough to tell Leoben that the number nearly matches her own ship, 8757NC. Duwala pays a visit to the Agathons during a tender moment with their daughter, whom she has come to babysit. She remarks on the child's innocent ignorance toward all that has transpired. Back on the planet, a mass grave is being unearthed, comprised of seemingly human skeletons and one surprising find, a head of an unmistakably Cylon design language. As the fleet leadership examines the unearthed remains, a theory is floated that the 13th tribe created their own Cylons, who then rebelled against them. However, Baltar notes that they dug deeper to test the skeletons themselves. The astonishing fact is that every one of the skeletons are also humanoid Cylons. In reality, the 13th tribe were all themselves Cylons. After the meeting, Leodama asks Roslin what she'll say to the quorum, but a visibly disheartened Laura has nothing to say at all. Admiral Adama tells his son to carry the ball for Roslin, and seemingly ignores Ty's attempts to speak to him as he walks away. Tyrell walks through the remains of the shattered city, being drawn to a ghost shadow burned into a wall, while ancient voices and memories come to the surface of his mind. As he touches the wall, a flashback to a former life overtakes him, and the flash of a nuclear blast knocks him back to reality. You can stop me at any time, guys.
That was
I'm
like
just seeing it in my head as you're reading it, and I'm like,
that
yeah.
was really telling, that scene when he had that flashback, because you know it really kind of starts to put together the life of the final five, if you will, and you know what their lives were like before that, and yeah, that was very like poignant, but also like it was very interesting, you know, just to see like you know that they basically had this whole catastrophe happen to them. So, you know, they're really not that far removed from the actual colonials. So, you know, they have that in common. Very, very I guess poignant and also ironic at the same time.
And it calls the cyclic nature. You know, the catchphrase becomes all this was happened before, all of this will happen again, and this puts
Hmm.
the big old rubber stamp on that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
The scene that really gets to me, I mean, they're all, it's just one after another, after another, after another. And you feel, and everything, I mean, the lighting they use, everything is just speaks to how grim their situation is. They were so hopeful. And then this is what they find. But it's when Dee is in the sand
I
and
knew
she's
you were going to
looking
say
at
that.
those jacks and just, it's, I mean, the scene with her, you know, when they're in the ship, that's one thing, but or when they're getting ready to go back, and Hilo is like, you know, it's okay, just keep it together. But when you're by yourself, to be that despondent and that hopeless, you just see all the life just drain out of her, and that is a heart wrenching scene. Just the way she plays it.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's like, you know, it's just gone.
it
You
is.
just see it. You just see all of it leave her, and it's like, oh man,
It's
you know.
gone. She has lost it at that point. She has lost it. And understandably so. I mean, they were so looking forward to this, and to get what they got, it was like, it's over. It's over. You know? Yeah. Ugh, that whole
And
thing.
the other person that bears that same kind of break as Laura. Like she
Yes.
she bears the weight of all these prophecies and this leadership, and then she finds a dust ball, a charred husk of of not only the planet but their hope. She picks up this flower that's not worth anything. She kind of just, and when they get back to the ship, she's at a complete loss for any words at all. She just can't say anything except, get me the hell out of here.
I mean, really, what can you say? I mean, I know everyone needs an answer, but when she just shakes her head and walks off, it's like sometimes you just can't talk. You can't speak.
Her and D both have that. You can see just the hope just drains directly out of their faces, and that's a huge testament to the skills of those two actresses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was pretty telling, just the reactions. I mean, I really thought that was played well. So if you want to go on, you can go ahead, Zach. Zach?
Starbuck. Yeah, I was trying to find my place.
Oh, okay.
Starbuck and Leoben argue about the latter's caution toward finding the answers surrounding the wreckage of her bird, and who or what flew back to Galactica. In the squadron ready room, now standing empty, Leodama stands in thought as Duwala appears, asking him why he hasn't boarded a readied Raptor for his quorum briefing on Colonial 1. Adama laments the many pilots that had once sat here, many of them lost forever over a dead dream. He doesn't want their sacrifice to be meaningless. Duwala tells him that his expression reminds her of what he looked like when his father said that he would execute the New Caprica rescue alone with Galactica. When he wonders what to say to the quorum, Duwala tells him to tell them the truth. As he leaves, although hesitant, he asks her to meet him for a drink later, to which she accepts. Back on the planet, Kara and Leopen find a clearing, and in that clearing, a large, charred piece of fuselage. As they turn it over, they see the unmistakable remains of a Viper cockpit, and its dead pilot, complete with pale blonde hair. As Starbuck gags, then reaches in to check the flight tags, she pulls clear a wedding band and a single tag, clearly marked K. Thrace. She presses Leoben for an explanation, receiving only a blank stare of shock and an admission of how wrong he was. She recalls the hybrid's words about her being the harbinger of death, and yells to Leoben as he walks away, unable to answer her question, "If that's me sitting there, then what am I?"
Oh, dude, I love that scene. It's like, she's like, "If that's me sitting there, then what am I?" Oh my God.
And we all have the same question. We're all just like, what are you? I mean, that's intense. That's intense.
And this is an interesting parallel to the scene that we just discussed, because both of these characters are arguably the most, I want to say the most faithful. Like, they have the most conviction toward their faith in Leoben and his visions of Kara, and Kara in her destiny to find this planet. Mm-hmm. And the two of them in this singular moment lose any idea as to what they're going for. They, like, everything we thought up until now has been wrong. I don't know anything now. They're both left at square one, much like Laura, much like Dee, much like everyone. Everyone is torn back down to zero.
He's not even trying to figure it out or reason it. He's just like, shit, backing away. Yeah.
He runs.
Yeah, he does. And she's like, what? She's chasing with her voice. She's chasing him. She's like, what am I?
Dude, the look on his face, he's just like, he's just sitting there like, I was wrong.
And he can't handle that.
I mean,
he cannot handle that.
Yeah.
It's intense.
I mean, none of them can. Like,
yeah,
every character that comes across something is shook by what they find. And Tyrell is a a really good
Dude.
example of that is he literally gets knocked on his ass.
Leoman,
His ass.
when they're standing there, Leoman's like backing away, like he's ready to dip. Like, yep.
He gives her just nothing.
You're like some kind of demon, lady. I'm out of here.
Yeah, they're all just shook to their core.
Mm-hmm.
To their core. What are they going to do? What are they going to do?
I think the answer is they all fall apart. There's
in one way or another, yeah.
I would say at least up until this point in the episode, the only ones that are holding it together are Lee and probably Ty. Ty to a lesser degree, but Lee is definitely the only one that's like probably holding himself together better than most. You could say maybe Hilo.
Yeah, Lee is kind of like the only one that is trying to keep it together and like logically process.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's like one of the only ones. I mean, I think Anders kind of is too, to a degree.
Yeah, but we haven't
because he's just.
We haven't gotten his point yet. We're actually there right now, but we haven't. Up till this point in the episode, we haven't seen him encounter anything.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Anders finds the remains of a stringed instrument, presumably some kind of guitar. As he holds it, memories of him playing the haunting song that has haunted the fleet, and the Cylons flood his mind. He drops the neck and runs to find Tyrell, sitting placidly beside the wall and the vision. They both share their visions, both realizing that they once lived on this planet at one time. Anders recalls that he had played that song for a woman he loved, as Tori joins them, recalling that he played that song for all of them. Anders questions how they came to be in the colonies, thinking they were human after 2,000 years. In Adama's quarters, Laura Rosalind sits, slowly burning the pages of the Pythian prophecy in the sacred scrolls. Adama tries to get her to reschedule her Deloxin treatment that she's missed, only to meet a wall of resistance from her. She laments over all the suffering and death that has followed them since his choice to not stand and fight, to instead follow her now seemingly fruitless visions. She rejects his soft touch, and as the pages burn, dismisses him with anguish and tears in her eyes. Back on the planet, in the twilight of nighttime, Hera Thrace creates a funeral pyre, burning the corpse of herself found in the wreckage, sitting alone as the flames consume it. Lee, Adama, and Duwala come back from their date as he humorously and drunkenly recalls his report to the quorum. Duwala smiles back warmly as they kiss, although both stop before going any further. As Gaeta watches her enter the quarters, she hums a quiet tune to herself. With slight amazement, he remarks on her glowing demeanor, before making a comment on how Earth is a waste of a planet. Duwala chides him for bringing up the subject, wanting to hold on to her warm feeling as long as she can. She looks at a childhood picture of herself in her opened locker, taking off her pendant. She has no idea what's ahead of her, she says of her younger self. Gaeta leaves, and Duwala stops humming briefly, watching him, then resumes her song. She looks at a cameo of her parents, and then calmly places her wedding ring on the locker hook. Without any hesitation at all, Duwala pulls out a sidearm from her locker, places it against her temple, and fires. Diana Celix arrives first, with Gaeta not far behind. Both are aghast at the sight of Duwala's body, blood pooling around her hands. They call for medics repeatedly in fear and distress, and the scene ends. And that is the most crushing character death, in my opinion, of the whole series.
That
No
was
argument. No
yeah,
argument.
that was just
God.
it just rips the guts out of you. Like cuz you get no respite. So you go
No.
from where you see Laura having the breakdown as she's, burning the pages of the Pythia prophecy.
Mhm.
Then we get into that thing with Duala. Oh my god, that whole sequence, because you get your guard let down for about this long because she's walking back with Lee, and she you could tell it like she's just sitting there, and she does have that glow about her,
Yeah.
and then she walks into that that officers area there, and then next thing you know, it's just like boom, and it hits you, and you're like, oh my god,
And
you
I've
know.
read
Mhm.
some reactions on various forums and whatnot to this scene, and a lot of people were saying, I've known someone that went this path, and this is what happens to them. They don't go out in fear and confusion; they go in
Yeah.
certainty. And when you
No.
when you earlier when you see Duala hit that point in the raptor, when her panic goes away and her face stops and she stops trying to calm herself, she's ready, and she's just tying up
Mhm.
loose ends up until that point.
Yeah. And she wanted one perfect moment to go out on
Mhm.
because she knew she was going out. That was clear. She had made up her mind. But she wanted that one, she wanted to go out on her terms on a perfect moment. And that was her perfect moment.
Yeah,
And
that's
kills me every time I see that because I'm like, don't do it. No, don't do it. But I know she's gonna do it.
it was,
And it never gets old. I mean, I don't mean it never gets old. That's not what I meant. I mean, it never
It's
gets
just an effect.
easier, is what. Yeah, it
it's
never
a
loses that effect.
yeah, because it's just such a killer. Because
Everybody
like
loves D.
yeah, I mean,
Hell,
she was one of the most
one of my favorite
likable,
characters.
characters. Because
Yeah.
it was never really a thing. And by the way, I want to say what's up to Shane Nolan. Great to see you, Shane, and Zax.
Facts.
And we have our buddy YouTube Me, that great friend of Bounding into Comics. He's here under he's got an actual name now instead of YouTube Me. It's Wicked Pinto. I like it. Hail to Godzillionaire. Great to see you, buddy.
That was messed up. That scene was messed up.
And by the way, thank you, Arwen, for being on top of those little spammy bots.
Yeah, I did a couple.
Yeah, you did a couple too. Yes.
Well,
Um,
I was just on
but
Bat Stevens' stream, and they're out in abundance. So.
but Arwen's like, no, I'm just gonna put him out the airlock.
They're everywhere. It's like,
Yeah.
bye.
Hail the Gap Stargate. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's great to see you, Darius. So yeah, the thing is yeah, that death was such a killer, because it just it really takes it out of you, man. I know Zach. God, that ripped me up, dude.
Yeah.
So I watched the episode twice this week, and that episode hit me so hard the first time I actually did cry again, because I knew it was coming. Like, and I've seen it more than
Yeah.
once. It's a clip available on YouTube, and I don't understand why they chose that one out of all the scenes they could have, but it's
so
never,
powerful.
like you said, it's never easier.
Oh yeah, Gap. Sorry, I will say this. Out of all the main cast, everybody, it was funny because Candace McClure, she never really, she kind of was just in the background because everybody paid attention to Lee and Kara and Admiral Dama and Roslyn, and and it was pretty much like a lot of those people after that were, they sort of kind of fell to the background, and that's fine. Normally that's how it is in a good show, because you pay
Mhm.
attention to the mains, and then the secondaries kind of could get lost in the shuffle, man. But Candace McClure, I mean, you're absolutely right, dude. She killed it the entire series, and it just it sucks that this was so sudden. I mean, it was done well. I'm not going to say it wasn't done well,
It was
but
done very well.
it was just like, wow, because it was so sudden and it was impactful. This was an impactful character death, but just the way that she played her character from start to finish, from start of the series till now, wow. I mean, she made Duala was elevated from a just low screen time character to a major piece.
Yes.
And that was that just, I mean, that's organic. That's all on the actress, and she did a hell of a job. Hopefully at some point, we're talking about getting Nikki Klein on, and you can point out what Nikki did for the character of Callie. But man, Candace McClure, same thing with Duala, and and there's a couple avenues I'm going to explore. I really would love to, at least by the finale, get Candace McClure on. I'd love to talk to her. So,
and that scene it's bolstered by Alessandro Giuliani's reaction to that when he rushes into the room and it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Like, no, it's not. But he's in that shock moment, and he plays it so well that I feel like, and that it would have made it for a short episode, but this scene could have been the end of the episode, and it would have been a staggering place to stop.
Yeah,
it's so impactful.
I almost feel like to continue on the rest of this episode after that pulls away from it. But there's so many other strong scenes that it kind of brings it back. But I feel like if they had stopped it right there, it would have been like people's minds would have been blown for a week.
Well, Celix's reaction too.
Yeah, but it's Gata's voice that you hear.
Gata just
Because those two, they were, and you were talking about how well people started to like D. D is a figurehead in the CIC. Like, she is Adama's other adoptive daughter, and she's Gata's arguably closest friend in the CIC. They work so closely together in physical distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. This is a loss that is you could never recover from this, even if you had another season.
And she's a character you never have a problem with. I mean, not in the sense like, other characters, as much as we love them, sometimes you want to smack them.
Yeah, right. She didn't do any sin.
I love Dee. Yeah, she is probably the purest of them all, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The most innocent of them all. And for her to go out like that, it's like, how do you come back from that? As a viewer, like you said, if they had stopped it on that scene,
right?
People would have just sat there 10 minutes later, while the show ended, going, what the hell?
It would have been the Red Wedding episode of this series.
Yes.
Then you see Adama.
Yeah.
Then you see Adama and Lee's reaction to it, and you're going to get into that now, aren't you?
Yeah, we can jump right into that. Lee Adama stands by the shrouded body of Anastasia Duala in the ship's morgue as his father enters. Father and son, the former deep in the bag, mourn over the body. Lee rejects his father's offer of a drink and storms out, past Lieutenant Gata without a word. The elder Adama takes one last look at Anastasia, alone with his guilt and feelings of failure. The next thing we see is the Admiral on a hard march, stopping only to take a Marine's sidearm. All around him, the crew is in chaos. He storms into Ty's quarters, securing his weapon from his locker and telling him to sit. Adama tears into his friend, as Ty tries to be reasonable. He questions Saul's friendship, their history. He throws insult after insult, Shit, lost my place. Hold, please. He throws insult after insult about Ellen. Eventually, Ty can take no more and grabs his weapon from the table, holding it to Bill's head. Bill angrily begs for him to pull the trigger, before raising his own weapon to his own temple and threatening to do it himself. Ty realizes Bill's game and refuses to be his angel of mercy, instead watching him continue to drink as Adama reminisces about a fox hunt with his uncle, about how some foxes would, instead of fighting or trying to cross the river, instead turn into the current and swim out to sea. The two surmise that either the foxes wanted to drown or were just tired. Ty, however, reminds his friend that they are not foxes. They cannot simply float out to sea, that they still command the last remaining warship in the fleet, and that ending themselves would not do anything to help anyone. In the presidential office aboard Colonial One, Lee Adama slowly wipes away the numeral 1 from the census board as Kara arrives. Kara had officially reported that she lost the signal they had been tracking, but needs to confide in him about something else. Before she does, Lee tells her the news about Duwala. Both can only wonder why Dee ended her life. Kara presumably decides not to tell Lee about her discovery on the planet. Admiral Adama passes by more passive crewmen and the words "Frack Earth" sprayed on the wall as he heads to CIC, where Colonel Ty joins, wearing his service uniform and rank insignia again for the first time since being granted amnesty by then acting President Lee Adama. Ordering Lieutenant Hoshi to Duwala's old communication station, Adama directs Gata to find any nearby stars compatible with habitable planets, and Officer Hoshi to invite the rebel Cylons to their next destination. Adama addresses the fleet, telling them that, while Earth is no longer a choice, he will find them a new home, a promise he made and intends to keep. Saltai, still in service uniform, organizes the evacuation of the survey crews on Earth in preparation for their search for another new home. On the beach, he greets Deanna. She expresses her desire to stay behind, believing that the cycle of life will keep going on as dreadfully as before, and that it beats the hell out of being in space with Cabal. Ty tries to give encouragement, but she asks if he ever wanted to just give up, which reminds him of Adama's story of the penned-in foxes. Ty thereupon begins to walk into the bay. Chest deep in water, he continues down. Hearing faint screams in his mind, he reaches down and lifts a mangled postbox hatch from his apartment building's lobby 2,000 years ago. Holding it, he has a vision of the end of his former life. He wears a civilian business suit. His face is clean-shaven but bloodied, and he has both of his eyes. A voice calls out his name from the floor in front of the postboxes. There, he finds Ellen, trapped under debris he cannot move. His present-day self thrashes about in the bay while remembering his past life, frantically pulling the lighter debris from around Ellen. As more bombs detonate in the distance, Ellen delivers a prophecy, stating that they'll be reborn again, together. The vision and the episode fade as Ty realizes the truth. And there, quite literally and figuratively, is the last bombshell of the episode.
Yeah. Especially when you realize what happened the last time he saw Ellen. You know, he kind of had a hand.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Ellen. But then to know that was there 2,000 years earlier, where is she now? I mean, the questions, y'all, that come up the first time you see this through. It's just
Well, yeah, because they're basically, telling you in so many words that there's your fifth,
yeah. And where is she? What happened?
Right. Yeah. She's
And
been on. It's been quite some time since she resurrected in that one piece ship.
But see, he doesn't. He doesn't know. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He has no clue. And it makes me wonder. Okay, or at least I would. I know it was a memory, but I would be thinking, is this real, or am I seeing somebody I want to see, or is this really a memory? What the hell's going on? All of that going through his head in a split second. And then you put him on the predicament that they're in. If she is out there, where is she? And is she even still alive? I don't know. It's just that scene with him, it hits me. It just all the questions I would have if I was in that situation, all at once swirling around in my head,
Mm-hmm. I mean, this episode in general is a giant exposition dump. Like the whole justification for everything that's happened in this season is basically this episode.
Yep.
It's one after another, after another, after another. I mean, you almost don't get any breather.
And we talked a little bit at the end of the last time or the time before about what other characters could have been Cylons in the fleet. I still think Ellen, even if Ty wasn't, would have made a good choice for one of the last Cylons. But then watching this episode, I'm like, it doesn't make sense to have her be one and not have Ty as well, because you have this wonderful circle of love and relationship and loss, both from New Caprica and then to old Earth, we'll call it. It's a beautiful mirror on that.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I agree.
Well, Tony brings up a point. When this first aired, it must have broken the internet. Brother, I can confirm that, because I'll tell you, between our own forums at Pegasus Actual, the sci-fi.com forums back at that time, I mean, oh my God, the reactions, the traffic was absolutely ridiculous when this episode ended. I mean, you want to talk about, modern day breaking the internet. Yeah, it did back then. I mean, the traffic was crazy busy on every single site. I mean, you could go from Sci-Fi, which as soon as the episode ended, man, there were like probably about 30,000 plus people on there, and then logged in trying to make heads or tails of this episode. And then Ragnar Anchorage had a bunch of traffic. We had a ton of traffic. I mean, it was just absolutely bonkers. And it was crazy. But this was a very impactful episode. One of the most impactful of the series, easily.
Agreed entirely.
Yeah. And you see that personal journey that each of them take.
Yep. And
this episode.
Yeah, this was a 10 easily. Because I don't even have to hesitate on the score. This was a 10.
I agree. 10. Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A 10.
And I think if they'd split it up into 2 episodes, it would have been 2 10s.
Yeah. It's still there wasn't really no weak point in this. This was a 10. Hail, Captain Trek. Great to see you.
I think a small detail that gets overlooked a little bit in this is when Lee is looking over at Dwala's body and his father walks in and he offers him that drink, you see a very familiar sense of anger and separation that wasn't there for a long time between those two. Like that rift that was starting to heal widens again at that moment when he sees his father so broken and weak and in the bag, and he's like, "Here, join me." He's like, "No, like I don't need that right now." And then he just storms out. And he ignores Gata, who's like just standing there, like outside the door, watching all this happen, who's easily just as broken as either one of them.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense, because when tragedy happens and you don't understand it, sometimes the people you lash out at and are the angriest at are the ones that are right there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if there's been tension, but it's been worked on and it's been healing and things have been good, it can take you right back there. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. It's just, that's human nature, especially if the other person is also dealing with their own grief and their own situation, and stuff is bad on top of it. And then you have a tragedy. It's just like, damn, I can't get a break. And you want to start shutting down again. And you don't want to put out olive branches, and you don't want to work on that. You just fall back into old routines.
And that's, speaking of olive branches that don't get accepted, this leading into or coming out of the very, very, very tense confrontation between Adama and Ty, which could have ended very badly.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, to have Ty be the comparatively sober one that comes out,
Yeah,
not looking like a rose, but the more mature one in the scenario.
Yeah, he was the unifier in that particular exchange,
But and it made sense for their relationship, because their relationship throughout all this time has been some form of give and take. You can't be that close with someone and not have a give and take.
Yeah, Ty was
And
the one
he
that
was
made
there
sense
for his friend when Bill needed him. Ty was the one to say, get your shit together. I'm here for you.
And it's a weird undertone too, because he spends this whole scene like egging him on and questioning his loyalty, and then he's like, I'm only doing this because you're the only one I trust to do what I want done.
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to make his best friend angry to give him this greatest mercy. It's such a weird duality.
And all those years of trust just paid off for both of them.
Yeah.
For both of them.
Because in the end, Ty makes the right decision.
Exactly. Yeah. He makes the right decision. He tells his friend, no, enough.
Yeah.
We do not need your death on top of everything else.
Yeah, just the way that he takes the pistol and he's unchambers around. He's like, taking yourself out of the equation is not gonna fix anything. And just wow. Yeah.
And Adama sees Ty as his old friend, not as a Cylon.
Mm-hmm.
That incredibly heartbreaking scene healed them.
Yeah.
This show is just freaking 10. This episode,
yes, it is.
Freaking 10.
Yeah.
So much to it.
Nothing more to say across the board. I mean, I think we all had the same reaction to it.
It's so good, y'all.
I mean, if you're a fan, this is one of the greatest episodes in the entire series.
God,
it's probably, arguably, the best of season 4, easily.
Yeah, it's so good. It's heartbreaking, but damn, it's so good.
Yeah, it really is. So, well, oh gosh, we're gonna start getting into some real nitty gritty in the next 5-6 episodes, because man, there's some wild events still to come in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It ain't over, kids. It ain't over.
Oh no.
Nope. That more to go.
So we're essentially, we closed down one big arc, but is there a whole lot more to come? So and we still got the underlying mystery of what Kara is and where that's gonna go. So it starts to get really, really, really interesting. There is still, I believe, there's not too many more one-off episodes, is there, Zach?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think we just start to wrap it up here. I mean, I can check real quick, but while I do that,
if I remember correctly, this is all just straight on, A plot, B plot, C plot. That's it. It's just it's not. There's no one-offs.
I think this episode is, and we've a couple of these in this season we talked about it. People, we all agree season 3 and 4 are the weaker ones, but there are episodes like this that are so good it almost saves the entire last season, and it saves some of the creative decisions that were made just simply on the strength of performances of the characters that are dealing with what they have being handed to them. And
I agree.
Just being able to sit on the panel on Dragon Con, a lot of the actors are like, aside from Aaron Douglas, who told everybody everything, nobody really knew what was coming up, and they got caught off guard by a lot of this, like the Cylon reveal. Corey Foster, Rekha Sharma was like, I'm just surprised you're giving me more work. Like, thank you for giving me a continued job.
Yeah.
When she learned that she was going to be a Cylon.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. Well, I guess next week we'll have a good episode again, because I think what is next week?
It's called A Disquiet Follows My Soul.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. So we're gonna enjoy that, and
I hope so.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a
okay. I was just checking the date. Yeah,
we're gonna have a good discussion on that one. So
we've got what two more episodes before Christmas.
Yep.
So that'll put us at episode 13, and we've got
because we'll break for Christmas for sure. So week of Christmas, we won't probably have a Pegasus actual, but we will come back the week after that.
So we're not the 23rd. We're not doing it the 23rd.
No, we're just
gonna. So next week's the 16th. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we're not going to do it the 23rd simply because I want us all to concentrate on family, because this is what we need to do.
I think that'll put us into February when we reach the finale, February or early March.
Yeah, which hopefully we get there right around my birthday, because that'd be a nice birthday present. Do a Pegasus actual.
Nice.
So we'll see. But yep, that's most likely gonna be when we get to it. So I'm excited for it. But
it's like Shane's gonna have a birthday present next week. His birthday is next Thursday.
Yeah.
So happy early birthday.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, Shane, we'll be sure to give you shit when you come in this chat next Thursday.
Yeah, Shane.
So make sure that you're here.
He's one of my consistent supporters, and he consistently supports a lot of people.
So he does. He does. He supports this channel, and Dwayne and Rita. They're supportive. And my birthday, Dwayne, is on February 22nd. So we'll see. Maybe we'll be done by then. But either way, if we don't have a Pegasus actual on that day, I'll have a birthday stream. And if I have a birthday stream, I can promise you it will be epic, because it will involve a bit of a spot of drinking, maybe, or a little bit. Yeah.
You invite 5 or 6 good people and get them all good and hammered.
Oh god! All I need is Arwen with wine on there.
Get my pink Moscato.
Yeah.
You make it the full bottle stream. You have to start off showing the full bottle, and by the end of the stream, you show what you read.
I won't have a problem with that.
Right,
I'll be all right with that.
Right notches on the bottle, tied, and check the level. Yeah. Oh my god!
That'd be great.
Oh wow! So
yeah.
All right, hey Moira, that's how you doing? You came in on the end. All right, Captain Trek. Yeah, we're all gonna be having birthday streams coming up, because there's a lot of people around this corner of YouTube that we got that's coming up with birthdays coming up in January and February. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of birthday streams and different things popping up around the community next couple months. Don't forget that Saturday. Oh, I got a busy Saturday because you know we're gonna have, as I said at the start of the show, the Battle of Pegasus actual between Zach and I.
God,
Battlestar
I missed
Galactica, Battlestar Galactica deadlock. Fleet versus fleet.
that.
Who will win? Will it be
We got to figure
me?
out all the rules, though. We have no idea what we're going to do
Yeah,
for like split
yeah,
up or like best of
yeah.
3 or however that's going to work.
Will it be me? Will it be Zach? You'll have to tune in and find out. Looks like we're gonna do it somewhere about 3 or 3:30 Eastern Standard Time in the afternoon. We'll do it probably on both Brightest Day and my Twitch channels. It'll be a nice way to bring my Twitch channel back
Nice.
into the fold. So
Nice.
we'll do that. We'll probably multi-stream, and you'll be able that way to see it from both perspectives. And
What is your Twitch channel, Drew?
what's that?
What is your Twitch channel?
Twitch.tv/Supreme Heretic. So,
It doesn't look like it's there, unless there's like is there like a hyphen or something in there?
let me
Might
see.
want to check on that.
I should have it. Yeah, Supreme_Heretic.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Yep.
There we go.
Zach
There's the link.
says it's going to be Zach because he has the fracking uniform.
Yeah.
Thing, so. No, we'll see. I mean, that should be fun. I mean,
I love it.
It's a slow paced game to watch, but it's a fun game to play and think about. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will. You know, and we've got all those gorgeous camera shots and replays, so that'll be fun too. So, yeah, if you guys aren't doing anything Saturday afternoon, you can watch me and Zach go at each other. That'll be a good time. And then later on in the evening, I'm gonna, because I really believe in giving back to the community. We rise together. So I'm going to do a special episode of High Heresy for you guys on this channel, and we're going to have on R to the Icky, and of course the other Maria, the Geeky Crochet, and I'm going to have them two on, and we're going to chit chat about their channel and what they're doing, and we're going to goof around a little bit and talk about nerdy stuff. So make sure that you tune in for that special episode of High Heresy. That'll be around 9 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. So a lot of stuff going on. So make sure that you check me out on Saturday. And then I will pass it over to Zach and let him tell you what he's got going on. And then we will let lovely lady Arwen tell you what she's got going on. So go ahead, Zach.
Thank you, Drew. Apologies for my boomer moments tonight. It's been a hell of a day. You can find me here at Brightest Day on YouTube, Twitch, Odyssey, half dozen other places. All my contacts are on my About page. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, booked with Brightest Day. I read classic sci-fi novels to you. Currently on track to finish all 3 books I'm reading, including Heir to the Empire, Dune, and Space Crime Domino by the year's end. Tuesday is Rogue Resistance, and Thursday is Pegasus Actual Podcast here with my friend Drew. I do a bunch of other stuff throughout the week. Love you guys.
Yes, sir. And we're going to try to get, I think Chase guys are on Rogue Tuesday, Zach. I'm going to reach out to Chase because I want to talk to him about Matt Couch getting his Twitter suspended. So, all right, Arwen.
Hey, y'all can find me on YouTube on Arwen Avalon, and same also on Twitter, Arwen Avalon. Saturdays I stream with Eris of Chaos and with T-Shirted Historian. Let's see. Mondays I'm on with Mary's Game Room in the evening. And Wednesdays, of course, Pink and Purple in the afternoon at 5. And then there was something else going on. I've been streaming with Tim's Talk on Wednesday nights. He's been doing a Harry Potter series. I don't know if he's going to continue that. We had part 3 last week or yesterday, so maybe on Wednesday nights, and then Thursdays when Klobby has Global Geek Gang with him, and then here on Pegasus Actual, and then it repeats. And then I kind of guessed wherever I'm asked. So I'm around.
Oh goodness!
Just pulling the Culture Casino, just be everywhere at all times.
And in people's chats too. I'm in chats a lot, or I'm playing Fortnite with Matt Stevens. So
she's the female Culture Casino. We're never gonna tell her otherwise because she employs the same strategy as Culture. I need to get Culture on sometime so we can give you both a hard time about that.
Because the hair is the same length.
Yeah.
I was gonna say give a couple of weeks and it'll be back down.
All right, folks. Well, thank you again for hanging out with us tonight. Of course, you're liable to catch me over on Comics Division's channel here shortly because I'm going to take a break. I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to go over there. So, I am part of Dick's Division, so you will see me over there. And there will be tons of Beware the Drew action in that chat, as there always is. So, check out Comics Division. He's probably already live, so I'll be over there shortly. Zach may pop over there. I don't know. And make sure that, hey, sub to both of these wonderful people because, I'll tell you, they have top quality content. And I love them because they're my family. So, all right. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We'll see you next week. So say we all.
We'll say we
So
all.
say we all.